Hello, welcome back to Tales Hobbies. In this video I'm going to extend my railway track on my layout into this corner here, and then I'm going to weather it with a bit of paint and ballast. I'm going to show you a bit more in detail on how I ballast these points. What I've done is I've got these 2 points, left-hand points here, one going off that way. I can have a few wagons or an engine sitting in there, and then the train can come back there and go off this way. And in the future, I could take it even further along there. So now I'm going to weather this bit of track and ballast it. To weather this track here, I'm not going to go to too much detail because I've already done a video a long ago about weathering the track, and this video is more about the ballasting. So, but I'm just showing you quickly what I'm doing. I'm using the same paints as I used in my weathering video. They're the 3 paints that are mixed, and just going over all the details of the track, the sleepers, in the rails, all on the track, and then we'll move back to the layout of the track and start the ballast. Looks a bit more worn, dirty, a bit of rust, that sort of feel to it. So it does. So otherwise, if you just put it straight onto the track, the layout, it can look really too newish. So I like to give it a bit of the weathering detail effect, and I think it helps blend it all in nice and picks out all the detail. So it's worth doing. You can see there, just by a little bit of paint picks out all the detail of the track. So here's the 3 paints I've been using to weather my track. Comes out really good. I use a bit of a mix of all 3 of those to give a nice blend, and that's the finished blend. And then so I'm going to use the same ballast that I used in my last video, and use this jar to apply the ballast. So I'm just evenly spreading the ballast out and trying to get rid of all the ballast in between the track there. And how you want the ballast to be, so you want the ballast to sort of lay in between the sleepers, so it looks like the track is on top of the ballast. That's the sort of effect that you're looking for, really. We approach this part of the track with the point. What I'm going to try and do is ballast quite lightly here. I'm going to try and get some ballast underneath here, but also what we want to try and do is keep this section here quite free of ballast. We don't want it too clogged up, whereas the point here won't be able to move. So we've got to try and get ballast in there, but not too much of it. So I'm going to try and demonstrate that now. So that's what we've got right now. So what we'll try and do is evenly spread this out a little bit. And now what we want to do is just brush it into the edge as much as possible. And it's a matter of just keep working it into the grooves. This part here, got to keep quite clear. So clear all the ballast away from this spot here. So I hope you can see that now. We've sort of cleared all this area, and the ballast is underneath the rails there. And then that's check the point, make sure it's working, and yeah, I'm quite happy with that. But another thing we want to try and avoid is getting ballast too much around this switch area here. So again, I'm just going to go very lightly with the ballast here, and then just brush any way where the switch is. So let's do that. Let's do the switch area now. So I've covered the switch area now with ballast. What I'm going to do is just with a brush, just clear it free from where the switch is. You just need to take a bit of extra care and a bit of extra time where the points and the switches are, just to make sure it doesn't get all clogged up and blocked and stuck, and all the points and switches still work. Always keep checking them. I'm happy with that. You can see it's moving quite nicely. This is the next point. Just lightly spread the ballast in here. In the corner, this point, so I'm having to stretch across my layout to reach this area. So I'm doing my best just to spread this ballast out and show you a close-up view of this in detail. So again, just in that groove there, keep that side of the rails clear with a point with the switches. So now it won't move. There's too much clogging it up, so you don't want to glue that into position like that, otherwise the point won't work. So just needs a little bit of care. Just brush away any of the ballast that's making it stop moving. There we go, it's a little bit better. You just got to keep working at it. Keep the switch quite clear from the ballast. There we go, it's working. So you saw that in detail, how I just cleared that. And then once it's like that, you know it's good to go for gluing down. So just make sure you check your points, and just take a bit of extra time and care to make sure your points all work like that, and you shouldn't have any problems. The grey, and I've just sort of sprinkled some down into this area where the points are, just to sort of blend it in a little bit, which I kind of like, and it's already now to be glued. A bit of a spritz with some water and a drop of very up liquid, and just give it a little bit of a spray down like that. Just try and keep the glue off the rails. just carefully inside sleepers and onto the ballast. Now, so I just need to leave that to dry to 24 hours up to 48 hours to set nice and dry. And this is the track I did the ballast in my last video. So that's the full layout there. And then with the extension bit that we've just done. 4 hours now, and it's starting to dry, still a little bit wet and loose, so I just need a bit more to dry, but I'm going to give it a go with my train. It goes along there. That's good. We'll switch the point over. Goes along there. So I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to let it dry a bit longer, but that's pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed that and you can see a bit more clearly how I ballast my points. If you missed my last video on ballasting my whole layout, I've got a whole video on that if you want to check that out. And I just want to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.